Welcome to Auction Version 4, the event management software tool from Auction Systems. This is the second video in the Merge Projects series. In this video, I will show you how to merge projects together. Please remember, you may only merge if your organization has a license for V4 Network Edition. Cloud-only and V4 subscribers have a network license. V4 single-user licenses, even when cloud has been purchased as an add-on, do not have merge capability, even in the cloud. If you have a network of computers and you have a single project that's stored in a saved location and everyone is accessing the same project, or you have cloud and everyone is accessing the same project, you don't need to merge. Only merge if there are two or more projects that have unique information. In merge, only two projects are merged together at a time. If you have more than two projects to merge, you must merge two projects together first and then start the merge process again to merge in the next project. To start the merge, you must have one project open. We will call this the starting project. Once the starting project is open on the computer, you may merge in another project, which we will call the incoming project. The starting project cannot be a backup. If the project was given to you by means of a backup, you must restore the backup to your computer so it is fully restored. When merging pre-event, if one of the projects has reservation information such as ticket purchases and payments, and the other project or projects have auction items and names, I like to use the reservation project as my starting project because it has critical financial data. The incoming project can be a backup or it can be a fully restored project. Please be careful before restoring a backup of the incoming project to your computer before the merge, because it's not necessary to restore an incoming project since you can merge using the backup. What do I mean by being careful? Well, when the incoming project has the exact same name as the starting project, it is best to just leave the incoming project as a backup. If you restore the incoming project to the computer before the merge, unless you are careful to restore it to a different folder location than the location of the starting project, when the two projects have the same name, you will overwrite the starting project completely with the incoming project data before you have a chance to do the merge. Before merging, open the starting project on the computer. Take a look at the project information on the Home Task ribbon. Make note of how many names and the name types you have, how many items and the item types, and if there are ticket purchases and item purchases and payments, make note of that information too. Have an idea how you would expect any of that information to change after the merge. On the main Home Task ribbon, click Data Exchange and choose Merge Projects. Next, in Merge, you must choose whether the incoming project is a fully restored project or a backup of the project. No matter if the project is a restored project or a backup, you will see this screen where you must use the folder section to browse to where the backup or project is stored. And when you pick the correct folder, the project or backup will appear on the right. Select it by clicking on it and then click Use Selected Project. You will see this screen where you must choose what data from the incoming project you want to merge into the starting project. On the left side of the screen is some instructions that are very important, and we will talk about them in a later slide. The right side has your merge choices, and at the top of the ribbon is the Merge Now button. Let's look at the merge choices. On the top of this section we have the name of the incoming project. Make sure this is correct. Then we can decide whether we want to join or replace some of the data in the starting project with data in the incoming project. Join is the most common choice. If a record with the same unique ID is in both the starting and the incoming project, with join in the merge, Auction will look to see what record was saved most recently, and the merge data will have that information, unless some field was blank in the most recent save, and then it will fill in the blanks with the data in the older save. Replace is the other choice. If you pick Replace, in the merge, Auction will look for matching records and will then see which record was saved most recently. Final merge data will contain only the data, whether the field is blank or not, for the record that was saved most recently. Next, we have the button for retaining the newest on-the-ground event. This choice cannot be changed. When a project is created, someone had to not only name the project, but they also had to name the event the project is for and give it an event date and time. So in Merge, Auction will look which event name was saved most recently. Don't worry if the merge project has the wrong event name after the merge. You can change the event name as well as the project name after the merge. Now let's talk about instructions on the left side of the screen. An understanding of unique IDs is critical to a successful merge. Unique IDs are built into records when created. All records, including name records, item records, purchase records, cash donation records, payment records, have their own unique ID. When you back up and restore a project to another computer, unique IDs are retained. Unique IDs provide the capability to update a record's principal fields, spelling, or other principal field attributes during a merge without creating near duplicate records. If a project that has names and addresses of people and maybe a ticket type or two is created, and a backup of that project is sent to more than one team member so each team member can work on their own part of the project, all the names that existed in the project when it got sent out will have the same unique IDs in all the projects. If someone deletes or voids a record that is in the other project too, that unique ID stays behind the scenes, so in a merge, Auction will know that the record was deleted. As long as nobody else made a change to that same record and saved it as a later date than the deletion, the merge project will not show that deleted record. When records with identical principal fields are created independently on two different computers, they will have different unique IDs. They can be merged based on the data fields, using the Merge on Unique ID and then Principal Fields option. After merging on matching unique IDs, remaining records can be merged if it sees a match in principal fields. What are the principal fields? Well, for a name record, the principal fields are primary first name, primary last name, secondary first name, secondary last name, and company name. In a merge, if the same name was entered for the first time in each project, they will have different unique IDs. But if those principal fields are exactly the same in each project, Auction will know that they are the same record and will merge them. The new merge record will have a combined unique ID, so if a merge happens again, Auction will know this is the same record. Principal fields for items are the item type and item number. So now let's look at the merge choices with respect to unique ID. These choices are all about what you want to bring into the starting project from the incoming project. Let's start with the right side of the screen. If the incoming project has items that need to be merged in, you may choose to merge on unique ID first and then principal fields if there is no common unique ID. Or you can merge only on unique ID, and it will ignore principal fields and bring in the item anyway if there is no common unique ID in both projects. If you happen to have an item that has the same item number and item type as another in the different projects, but different unique IDs, when you merge on unique ID only, you may get near duplicate items in the merge and will be required to resolve the item number issue after the merge. You can also skip bringing in items entirely from the incoming project. You can merge expenses or skip expenses. You can also merge item and ticket purchases and payments or skip. If you skip item and ticket purchases, by default you will also skip merging entry levels and ticket level definitions. If you don't skip, you must decide the typical merge choices, unique ID and then by names of tickets and entries, or on unique ID only. Finally, do you want to include any custom documents or reports in the incoming project or skip them? Now let's look at the name choices on the left. Name records always get merged. You cannot skip merging names, but you have a choice of bringing in all names or only essential names. Essential names are only the names that are associated with the choices for items and transactions you made on the right. So if you're only interested in bringing in items from the incoming project and not interested in any of the ticket purchases that could be in the incoming project, only donors who donated will be essential names. Auction will ignore any name records in the incoming data that do not have a donation associated with it. Once you've decided whether to merge in all names or essential names, do you want to merge on unique ID and then principal fields, or only on unique ID? If you choose only on unique ID, if the John Smith record was created in both projects separately, after the merge you will have two John Smith records. This will not cause an error that must be resolved before continuing, but you have the ability to join these near identical records after the merge. If you're bringing in reservations in the incoming data, do you want to merge on unique ID and then principal fields for participants, or only merge participation on unique ID and then names only on unique ID but leave addresses, etc. as is? Or do you want to skip participation details entirely? If you're merging at the event after entering winning bids, you want to join, never replace. And since you started with identical projects, merge everything and merge on unique ID. Once all your choices are made, click Merge Now. If Merge Now is not enabled, click the Hint button to find out why. You will see a merge log. You can look it over and you will see how many records were merged, which is records that were in both projects, so Auction combined these records based on whether you picked Join or Replace. If any records were added during the merge, these were records that did not have the same unique ID in both projects, and depending if you picked the choice, did not match in principal fields either. Close out of the merge log and you will be in the home screen with project statistics. If there are any errors that must be resolved, you will see this screen. All the errors are on the right. Close this pop-up and you will be able to resolve errors by clicking on the errors on the right of the home screen. What if you did not expect any errors and therefore you think you made some incorrect choices in the merge when you see a bunch of them? Or maybe you have no errors, but when looking over the project statistics on the home screen you do not see the additions you expected. Can you start over? Yes, you can, by restoring from an auto backup made for you by Auction before the merge. But you must recover before entering any new data. Or you may have some near duplicate names or items. You can also recover from that too without rolling back the entire merge by joining. I will explain both recovery tools in the next video in the Data Exchange Merge Project series. Thank you for joining us.